straight away I'll show you the straight away I'll be sharing you the practical things, and recorded sessions also be given. All right. So, and then along with that, I'll be giving you the projects as well. Okay. So if you guys can see here, see all the projects are set, right? So with the, with the step by step. Okay. So I'll be giving based on the topic wise the project. See, with the steps are ready. If you guys do this, your interview, right? It will be, you guys will clear interview in a minutes. Okay. You will be so strong in the practicals. All right. So this is your second step. Okay. That is your AWS training. Once you are good with this, okay, then you will move into the third part. Okay. Your third step, that is your DevOps hands-on guide. Okay. All the tools, starting with the GitHub, right? Your Jenkins, Harness, whatever is required for your DevOps, Naveen will take you from there. He will train you on that. Okay. He'll give you hands-on guide on this tool. Right. So you will have end-to-end hands-on guide on the tools. All right. Now you are good in AWS and you are good in DevOps tool. Okay. Once you guys cross this path, okay, number 2 and number 3, you have finished. Now we'll take you this main thing, that is your end-to-end project workshop. This will be for 2 days. Okay, this is a really, really very important one because most of them has secured their job by explaining this project, right? Just by how they explain this project in the interview, they have got the chance. All right. So let be either you from, uh, from any other domain coming to DevOps, or you are a fresher, or you from the non-IT, you want to come into the technical, right? Anyone, you can say that I have worked on this project end to end. Okay, so here you will be learning about the AWS 3-tier and then deploying all your DevOps, whatever you learned, right? This you will be seeing it here. Okay, I would say this is the main part of the course. Okay, this you guys should not miss. All right. So now let's say you guys complete this. Once you complete this, we'll start our mock interviews. We have 4 members to take mock interviews, 2 in AWS, 2 in DevOps, right? So we will be taking in a rounds. If possible, we'll take in the same day. It will be exactly like how your real interview, because me and Navin, we are currently taking interviews in our company, right? We are the one who takes a L1 round of interview. So we only frame the questions. So I think you all guys are in the right hand. If you guys clear our mock interviews, right? If you guys clear our mock interviews and you are able to clear our rounds, then you will be calling yourself, you'll be eligible to call yourself as a AWS DevOps engineer. All right. So once you complete this 90 days, you can go and apply for these jobs. So not only DevOps, okay? So not only AWS DevOps, you can apply for cloud engineer and cloud operations. These two are gonna grow in the coming future. All right, these 2 jobs you can focus on, because the wherever you learn the DevOps, right, in the other way, they just focus on the DevOps more. But here we are focusing certification training on the AWS side. Okay, so this will help you. This main particular course will help you get this cloud engineer or cloud operation. If you do some hard work, if you uh, learn something on your own, you can even get into cloud security, right? So that is again a hot selling not course, hot hot selling job right now. They don't have right cloud security engineers in the market now. Okay, so they only have DevOps engineers. They don't have cloud engineer, cloud operations, and cloud security. So this is your chance. We're gonna train you everything step by step, right? So this is your future. I'm showing you. Okay, at the end of the 90 days, right? You will be able to apply to these jobs. Now, any doubt on this? Any questions you have? Please ask.
So if anybody have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask questions. Okay.
What is cloud security jobs? Okay, so basically what is cloud security job is, see, all the thing or all the DevOps, everything, whatever future, all running on cloud, correct? So everything, all our infrastructure runs on cloud. So they need a guy, they need an engineer to secure our infrastructure, to secure our cloud. All these days we had cyber security guys. Okay. Now we need cloud security. Okay. So they need a people who having good knowledge on cloud, end-to-end knowledge. That's what the cloud security is. Okay. So any further questions? Uh, Uh, yes, Prem, you can, after this completion of this course, you will be able to uh, clear your AWS Solution Architect Associate and even DevOps as well. Okay, because our training is that level, will help you clear that exam as well.
Let me answer to this question, Adil. So after this course completion, you can clear these two exams, which is Cloud Practitioner and the Solution Architect Associate pre. When it comes to the DevOps, right? So we have many tools actually. We have GitHub, Harness, Jenkins, Kubernetes, so and so, etc. Okay, but when it comes to the DevOps part, right? It's complete practical project-based explanation pre. So my main aim is to like explain you people the topics which will help you to get the job, not to clear the certifications. So DevOps, we have many certifications. Okay, so it's not a DevOps certification based course. But AWS, yes, you can clear these two certifications. Okay, but when you jump into the DevOps, right, it's like a big ocean. It's like there are so many tools. Okay, so you cannot do all the certifications. Do you have more detail on the DevOps topics? Yes, yes, Nagaraj. I will explain like what all topics that I'm going to cover in this course. Don't worry, we will discuss that.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll be taking you the AWS session now. Navil will take you through the course and the DevOps thing.
Thanks, Adil. SP, what to know if DevOps are freshers or friendly or not? I will answer to this question. Any other questions? Prem, Nagaraj, SP, or others? Kalyan, Sunanda, Ravani, Akshay, Gagana. All good? Okay. So DevOps topics, yeah, I will explain
So
when
I
I will
have a
discuss.
question. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a
Yeah,
question. Maybe I'll ask in the end of the session if that's okay.
that's fine, Shravani.
Okay,
Shravani,
sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
One question too, actually.
Sunil, yeah, Sunil, go ahead.
Okay, so let's say if like I'm working with an organization, they have Azure DevOps pipeline, everything set up. Usually, organization migrate like who are already on Azure migrate to AWS. If they do, how we can you please can you also explain like if they want to transit, right? We could transition from a Azure to AWS. How
So,
we
so
can explain that and
Sunil, that's again a different topic. Okay, so it's like a cloud migration.
mhm.
Okay, so
Okay,
it's like migrating from on-prem servers to the cloud or one cloud to other cloud. It's again a different topic. Okay,
different.
but if you want to know about that, we can discuss it offline. Like
Okay, cool.
me and Adil can explain to you because we have like people who are completely new to the cloud computing domain and the DevOps, right? So if we straight away start discussing about the cloud migration, or they might feel overwhelming. Okay, right? So we'll go
Sure.
slow. But however, if you already have some experience and knowledge on the cloud migration, we can discuss in offline. We can discuss offline. Okay, don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one doubt now.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now most of organizations are depends Python scripting. What is the Python scripting role in DevOps tools and its basis of cloud computing?
Yeah, so not only cloud computing, be it any domain, right? Cybersecurity, blockchain, AI, ML, DevOps, AWS, Python is like little important these days. Okay, but when it comes to the DevOps role, it's not like mandatory that you need to learn Python, but it's good to have, right? Let's say, so previously I have attended a few interviews. Okay, recently I changed my job from TCS to a product-based company, right? So, or let's say if I'm attending like approx 10 companies in 1 month. Okay. So out of 10, three to four or three, like 30% of the companies are expecting some basic Python scripting. Let's say like automating some task. Okay. Now in this course, Adil is going to cover some Python scripts as well, like how to automate some process using AWS Lambda function, right? And I also provide some Python script which you can like practice. Okay, so yeah, we are also covering some basic Python scripting, but I would recommend you people to like learn some basics. So we have HackerRank, HackerEarth websites. Try to practice some basics like arithmetic operations, okay, and trying to like write some Fibonacci series, right? Printing the odd numbers, printing the even numbers. You can start some basics like writing the functions, learning the data types like that. I will guide you. So once we complete this course, I will also guide you on the Python side, like what all things that you need to prepare for the interview purpose. You don't have to practice just for the interview sake. Okay, even if when you like enter into the job, don't worry that they will not give you any like programming task. So even if they give you the programming task, you can tell them that your main skill set is Azure AWS DevOps. If you can able to do that, you can do. If it is not possible for you, that's totally fine. And these days, like using ChatGPT and Google, you will find most of the code in the Stack Overflow and the online itself. So you should able to do. It's not scripting is different. Development is different. First thing I want to make it clear. Development means like this includes like OOPS concepts, object-oriented programming, okay, multi-threading, exception handling, design patterns, data types, data structures, algorithms, all these things will come under programming. But scripting, it's we don't have to learn all these things. The basic syntax, like writing the if conditions, for loops, right? So these will be enough for the scripting part. Is it clear, Raghu?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So I'm just muting everyone. So, but if anybody have any questions, you can raise your hand and then I will give the option to unmute and speak, right? So let us start. Let me share my screen. So Shazia and Adil, just make sure that you are allowing the candidates because I can still see some people are trying to join. Maybe some due to network issues or they're dropping off, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll take care. You please go ahead now.
Cool. Thank you. So is my screen visible? Adil, can you confirm?
Yes.
Cool. So today we'll first try to understand what is DevOps. Okay, what exactly we do in like software development lifecycle. Because I can see like most of the people are from like non-technical background or from like freshers, right? So recent graduates and from non-technical background who are completely new to the software field. Software in the sense not only DevOps and AWS, it can be any domain, right? So that's the reason in the first class I want to explain what is software development lifecycle, and from the second class onwards we can start with the like our AWS topics, second or third class. Okay, right. So I hope you all know about the e-commerce websites like Flipkart, Amazon, right? And we have like a big basket for selling the groceries. Okay, Mintra, Book My Show for selling the movie tickets and other events tickets. Okay, now let's take an example of our real-time use case. Okay, let's take the e-commerce website, Amazon website. Okay. So this Amazon is actually used for selling or purchasing the services and the products. Okay, either you want to sell some product or purchase, you can do it with the help of Amazon website. Okay, so let me open this. So people use this Amazon across the world, not only India. In almost all the countries, they know what is Amazon. They know what, like why to use Amazon. What is the advantages of using Amazon? Right. So when you open this website, you can see this is the home page. So on the top, you can see these categories like bestsellers, today's deals, mobiles, electronics, home and kitchen, customer service, and so on. So what do we call this actually in our like layman terms? We are calling it as categories. Some like options that we have in website. Okay, different categories. But in the software development lifecycle, we call it as microservices. Okay, the term what we use is microservices. Let's click on this icon. You can see all these options here. Okay, let's expand this Echo and Alexa. Again, we have some other categories under this Echo and Alexa. Okay, and let's click on electronics. So again, under the electronics category, you can see we have like multiple other categories: accessories, computers and video games, I mean home theater, videos and mobiles and accessories, so and so. So we call it as microservices in the software development lifecycle, SDLC. Let me write it down here. SDLC. What is the full form of SDLC? Software cycle. So we are calling it as microservices. Okay. Now you take any website, we have 3 different parts. A website contains 3 different parts. Or you can call it as frameworks or whatever you want. 3 frameworks. Okay. One is front end, one is back end, and the other is database. Okay, in any website like Book My Show, IRCTC, Abibus, or whatever you want. Okay, every website has these 3 frameworks: front end, back end, and database. Okay, so whatever that you are seeing on the screen, right? All these things. So this designing, okay, all these images, logos, this pricing tags, everything is designed by the front end developers. Who is developing that part? Front end developers. Okay. And once you click on something, okay, let's say you want to purchase a product. Let's say I want to purchase this Sony. I want to purchase this headset. Okay. So what we'll do, we are clicking on that link and it is taking us to the next page. Okay. And once you click on like buy now, so it's asking for email ID. So you know, right, what are the next steps? So once you log into your email with your registered email ID and the phone number, it will take you to the payment gateway, right? You will be entering your credit card information or the debit card, like delivery address, email ID, phone number, your name, and all these things, your personal information. Once you click on submit button, what is happening? It is performing some payment process, right? It's using the payment gateway. You will be making the payment to the Amazon, and then your product will be like you can able to purchase the product and the product will be delivered to your address. Okay, so in this process, like while making the payment, what is happening? A call will be happening from front end to back end. Okay, so the logic, right? So these backend developers will write the logic, like how to make the payment. Okay, so once you click on the one button, how to go to the next page or for the next products or something like that. Okay, so the backend developers basically write the logic, how to process the data, how to store the data in the database, how to give the response back from back end to front end. Okay, so the logic will be written by the backend developers. Okay, but whatever that you are seeing on the screen, all that information will be designed by the front end developers. Okay, and what is the database here? Let's say I am purchasing an iPhone. Okay, now all that product information, customer information, okay, and the transaction details, all these details will be stored in the database. Okay, related to the customer, the data related to the customer, and data related to the transaction. Sorry for the bad handwriting, guys. So customer related information, transaction related information, product related information, and on which date we are purchasing, at what time we are purchasing, what is the product, and how many products we are purchasing. All these details will be stored in the database. Why is Amazon storing all these details? To help the customer with their queries. Let's say I purchased this, I actually made the payment for that product today, but still I'm not receiving the product even after 1 week or 10 days. So when you reach out to the customer care, they will pull your customer details, okay, the transaction ID, the customer ID, everything, and then they will see like where it is blocked, right, where it is stopped. Okay, is it at the warehouse side, or is there some technical issue at the website? Okay, so they will check all the details with the help of the data. Data is very important, or they might use this data for some predictive analysis, for the future analysis, which might help them in growing the business. Okay, so data is very important for growing the business or for helping the customers or for any other reasons. There are multiple reasons for running the machine learning algorithms. Okay, for all these things, data is very important. And now we are storing this application data. What is meant by application data? Customer related information, transaction information, product information, and etc. other related details. So all these details will be stored in the data. I hope now you got some basic idea. In any website, so we have front end, back end, database. Front end means what we are seeing on the screen. Back end means the logic which is written by the developers to perform some key operations. Database means for storing the data, any type of data. Okay. Now let's try to understand how this DevOps is involved in this process. Okay. So in the website development, where does this DevOps is involved? Okay. So let's open the new page. Okay, let's say we have Pawan in this class, right? So let's assume Pawan is actually running an offline grocery store. Okay, so this guy is running an offline grocery store. In Bangalore or Hyderabad or Mumbai or whatever the city. Okay, let's assume he's running an offline grocery store in Hyderabad location. Okay, now let's assume he's doing very good in his business. Okay, so he's getting very good profits in this grocery supermarket, which is running offline in the Hyderabad location. Now he decided to take his business to the next level. So he decided to take his business to the next level. So what is the first thing that he need? Let's say he want to sell his groceries online, right? He want to like sell this groceries and other services online. So what is the first thing that he require? He required a website. Okay, he need an online platform, right? Website is nothing but some online platform where he can sell this groceries to the customers. Online platform. So this is nothing but a website. We are calling it as website, right? Application. He need a application, online application. Okay. Now, so Pawan doesn't know anything about this software field. Okay, so he need a website where he can sell all the products online. Okay, now what Pawan will do, he will reach out to one stakeholder working in some service-based company. So we have two different types of companies, service-based and product-based. So regarding this topic, we'll discuss later. I will explain what is meant by service-based company, product-based company. Let's take one of the service-based company, Infosys. So we have other service-based companies like Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant, Accenture. All these are service-based companies. And if you ask me the product-based companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Google, all these are product-based companies. Okay, and few companies also offer the services, but they are mostly into the product development. Okay, now let's say Infosys is service-based company. Now what Pawan is doing, he's reaching out to one of the stakeholder working at Infosys. Okay, so he reached out to a stakeholder. Let's say her name is Saujanya. Right, Saujanya is working as a stakeholder at Infosys. Right, now what Pawan will do, he will reach out to Saujanya and he will explain about his requirements. So hi Saujanya, I want to develop a application. I want an application where I want to purchase my groceries online. I'm doing well at my business offline, so I want to take it to the next level so that I can sell my groceries all over the India, not only in Hyderabad, but I want to sell this groceries all over the India. Like how we have big basket, right? So people can purchase the groceries staying at home by just ordering on the mobile. So similarly, he want to use a similar application for doing for selling the groceries. Okay. Now what Saujanya will do, she will take all the information from him, like what type of application he need and what is his budget. Okay. Type of application means like how it should look, how many pages he need, how it should look, but whatever the information that he can provide, and what is his budget and what is the time frame. So how much time by what time he need that website running, right? And other information. So she will collect all this information from Pawan and she will start negotiating like, okay, so we can develop this application in so and so time in 2 years, but we are quoting some like $100 for this. I'm just giving a sample number, $100 or $200 for this. or $100K for this. Okay, and then Pawan will also negotiate. No, I cannot pay that much money, so I can only afford like $100 or $50 for this. Okay, and then after the negotiation, these two people will write SOW. What is SOW? Statement of work. Statement of work. It's like an agreement between Infosys and the client. So who is the Pawan here? He's the client. Pawan is the client here. Okay, and Saujanya is a stakeholder working at Infosys company. Okay, now what after this SOW, after like writing this agreement, right? Now Saujanya will pass all these details to the business analyst, BA, business analyst. Okay. Guys, try to remember all these words I'm using: business analyst, stakeholder, okay, client. Okay, after the end of the class, I will try to ask the questions. I will see like if you are able to answer it or not. I will try, then I will understand whether you people are able to understand the topic or not. Okay, so try to focus what I'm explaining, and you can write down the questions. If you have any questions, you can note down the questions in the notepad, or you can just type it in the chat. I can answer all those questions at the end of the class. Okay, right, because in the middle, if I try to answer, it will break the flow. Okay, so that's the reason. First, let me explain the complete topic, and then at the end of the class, I will answer all your questions. You can note down all the questions, whatever that you have, right? Okay, so now Saujanya will do, she will share all these requirements to the BA team about the technical requirements, what is the budget and what's the time that they need to finish the project, everything. She will share that information to the business analyst. Let's say Shravani is the BA. There will be multiple business analysts working in the company, but let's take one person named Shravani. Shravani is working as BA. Okay. So now what Shravani will do, she will set up a call with the development team. So try to understand this workflow. First, it is coming from the client to stakeholder, stakeholder to business analyst, right? From business analyst to the technical architect, technical lead or technical architect, and development team. Technical lead is he is the like a team lead or manager for the complete development team. Okay. Now in this development team, they will be having front-end developers, back-end developers, database developers. Okay, development means I will explain what exactly people will do in the development, right? So now what Shravani will do, she will share all the details. I mean, she will set up a call with the technical team, right? What is the role of the business analyst? So they will collect the requirements from the client side. Let's say Pawan is the client, but Pawan will be having some like one or two people from his side to share the requirements to the BA team. It's not just one-time process. Okay, so it's like regular practice. So every 15 days or every 1 month. So these people from the client side. Okay, so there will be people from the client side. You can also consider them as stakeholders from the client side. So these people, they will discuss, they will connect frequently with the BA team, business analyst, Shravani's team. Okay, so every 15 days or every 1 month, these people will be sharing the changes, like what are the changes that they want to make in the website, what are the requirement. Okay, everything they will be sharing the details to the BA team. Now, after collecting all the details, BA team will set up a call with the developers. Let's say these people are the developers. Front-end developers or back-end developers, and along with them, we also have the technical leads, the development team. So once they get this requirement, so Shravani will explain all the technical details to the developers, like how the website should look and what all categories, microservices they need to add, okay, and how many pages they require, how the communication should happen in the microservices. So these technical details will be shared with the development team, right? So BA should also have some basic technical knowledge, but they will not write any coding, they will not write any scripting, not security, they will not take care of any technical things, but they should have some basic idea. So their responsibility is mainly like communicating with the client team and then communicating with their internal team. So that is the responsibility of the business analyst. Okay, so business, so they are getting the business from the client. right? We're talking about the business with the client, right? Now, what these developers will do, they will start writing the code. Okay, let's say we have Gauss in the team, right? Let's say Gauss is a developer, one of the developer. So Gauss will start writing the code in his laptop. Okay, so it can be Java, Python, .NET, okay, any programming language. Let's take Java. So tomorrow I will explain what are the different programming languages that we have, different frameworks that we have. Okay, everything we'll discuss in detail. What is microservice architecture? What is monolithic architecture? Everything we'll discuss in detail. But today I'll just try to explain the complete life cycle from where the data is flowing, from where the actual process is getting started. We'll discuss all these things. Okay. So Gauss is a Java developer. That means backend developer. Java means it comes out of the back. So Gauss is one of the Java developer. So he will be writing the code here. Once the code is written, so once he's done with writing the code, then there will be a testing team. So they will test whether the code written by the development team is properly working or not. Okay, they will write the code and then we will run this application. Let's say this is a computer. We basically call it a server, but in the normal terminology, it's nothing but a computer or laptop, whatever you call it. So we'll discuss what is server later. So what we'll do, Gauss is a developer. He is done with writing the code. So we will take this code and we will run it on this server. What exactly we are doing, what is mean by running, we'll discuss later. But assume we are trying to run that code on this server. Now the testing team will test whether this application is actually working or not, whether the code which is written by the development team is working or not. Okay, so that means BA to the development team, and next it is going to testing team. Okay, testing team is the name itself is telling that testing. They are testing the code written by the developers. Okay, so there are different types of testing: manual testing, automation testing, regression testing, okay, load testing. There are different testing. All these things taken care by the testing team, right? Once the testing is done, once they basically verify the code written by the developers, they will give the green signal. Okay, everything looks good. Right, from their side, they will give this green signal. Okay, everything looks good. You can proceed and go ahead and deploy. So now DevOps people will come into the picture. So here the DevOps team will come into the picture, right? So what is DevOps people do? Whatever the code which is written by the developers. So let me explain in the new tab. Okay. So developer is done with writing the code. Now DevOps. Let's say Adil is a DevOps engineer, right? Now what Adil will do, he will collect the code written by the developers, okay, front end or back end or database, basically front end or back end developers, okay. And then, so he will convert that code into one single file. Okay, because the client requires the application. He doesn't require the code, right? What he will do if you provide the code, let's say the code contains 10,000 lines or 100,000 lines. 50K lines. So we don't know like how big the project is. Okay. So he doesn't understand the code. What he requires an application. So to develop that application, what we need to do as a DevOps engineer, what Adil will do here, he will convert this code into the single file. What we are calling this file? Artifact. Remember this word. Okay. We will use this word multiple times later. What do we call this? Artifact. A single file. It's a byproduct actually. Okay, so for developing this code, they will use like so many tools, frameworks, and libraries, packages, and everything. But after developing this complete code, we are generating one single file. We are calling it as artifact. Let's assume we want to prepare a vegetable biryani, right? So we will use some rice. Okay, we use vegetables. We use some masala and some other ingredients, oil, etc. So we use all these things to prepare the vegetable biryani. But what is the final product? We are preparing the vegetable biryani. So here also, developers actually want to develop the application. The final product is the application. So this is our application. The artifact is the application. But to develop that application, they need to use different ingredients. Ingredients means here we are calling it as tools, packages, libraries, dependencies, and all these things will be included in the development part. Finally, we are preparing one single file. We are calling it as artifact. Whose responsibility is that? DevOps responsibility, Adil. Now he will take this artifact, he will run it on one server. So we call it as production server. I will explain what is production later, but let's just remember this word, production server. So we have different types of servers: development server, testing server, stage environment, production environment. Okay, we have different types of environments. We'll discuss those environments later in the later class. Okay, so now Adil will take this artifact, the byproduct, and he will deploy this on the server. What is mean by deploy? I'm using the word deploy. Deploy is nothing but running the application. Running the application. Okay, so you are taking this file and you're running this application on this particular server. So once the application started running on this particular, let's say I'm calling it as application, right? The grocery supermarket application, right? Once this application started running on this particular server, now the customers of this supermarket, right? So customers of the Pawan super, let's say the supermarket name is Pawan's supermarket. Let's say this is the business name. Now we are developing the application with the same name, Pawan Supermarket, and the domain name also will purchase like www.pawansupermarket.com. Okay, like Flipkart.com, Amazon.com, it's like pawansupermarket.com. Okay, now so customers of the Pawan Supermarket from Hyderabad, from Bangalore, or from Delhi, like any city, those people can actually purchase the groceries by logging into the website. Now, once this application started running on this server, so DevOps people will take care of running this application on this server. Now, if you open your laptop or computer, mobile phone, tablet, or any device, if you go to the browser and if you type like www.pawansupermarket.com, then you can able to access that website. So because we all are opening these websites, right? Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, Book My Show. What is actually happening in the backend? Those applications are running somewhere. Okay, we call this production server. See, these applications are running on the production servers. Whose responsibility is to like run those applications? DevOps engineers. Whose responsibility is to develop that application? Developers. Whose responsibility is to test that application? Test engineers. Okay, and there is also a database team who will be writing the queries for storing the data. So that's the different part. We'll also discuss that. We'll also explain about like how to create a database, how to store the data, what are the different types of databases. Okay, me and Adil will cover the database related topics also. Don't worry. Right. So now once this application is successfully deployed on this server, we will monitor this application. We will monitor the application and we will monitor the server, whether the server is running properly or not, because we need to check the CPU, central processing unit, memory. Okay, we need to check like how much memory this particular server is consuming, how much CPU is this consuming, right? Is it crossing more than 100%? Is it crossing more than 50%? So we need to track these metrics, because due to some X reason, if the server goes down, if this computer is not working properly, what will happen? This application will not work properly. This application will not work. Okay, then the customers of the Pawan Supermarket cannot open the website. It will show like page not found, 404 error, or some 503 bad gateway. It will show some different error codes. Okay, we'll also discuss about those error codes later, right? So this application should always run 24/7 on this particular server. So this server should run properly. The application on the server should run properly. Whose responsibility is that? DevOps engineer's responsibility. Okay, and we need to continuously monitor that application every time. Right. So this is a complete workflow in software development lifecycle. In the software field, most of the projects, 90% of the projects are application development projects. So people like Java, we are calling like we see our friends, colleagues, and other family members working as the developers. What they actually do as a developers means they develop these applications, websites, okay, for the different purpose, right? So now if you go to this page, so you will find all the different stages. The first stage starts from planning. Planning means what we discussed, like stakeholder interaction with the client, and then the business analyst and with the developers. All these things will come under the planning. Okay, so then after the discussion with the developers, they will start writing the code. So once they get all the requirements from the client side and from the business analyst team, Developers will start writing the code. Front-end developers, back-end developers, they will start writing the code. Once they are done with writing the code, so they will run this on some test server. So we will discuss about this build later. Build is nothing but, I told you, right, we are converting that artifact. Whatever the code that we are writing, yeah, here. So whatever the code which developers are creating, we are converting this code into one single file, artifact. So this process, we call it as build. Converting the code into application, we call it as build. So we'll discuss about all these things in detail because this is a first class. I cannot explain every topic in detail. I'm just giving the high level overview. So for few people, if you are still not able to understand, if you cannot able to understand, if you are cannot able to follow what I'm explaining, that's completely fine. We will anyway discuss each and every step in detail. Okay. So let's come back. So what we are doing, once the developer is done with writing the code, we are building that. We are converting that code into one single file, and testing team will test that application, whether that application is properly working or not. Who will do that? Testing team will do that. Once the testing team gives the green signal, we are actually releasing, like we are taking the approval from the BA team or from the client side. Like, shall we deploy that application or not? It's like release. We are releasing the application. To whom we are releasing to? We are releasing the application to the client or customer. Okay. And then deploy. Deploy means we are running that application on that particular servers. Okay. Development servers, testing servers, state servers, finally production servers. Okay. Once the application is deployed on the production, then the customers of that supermarket can able to access the website. They can purchase the groceries. Okay. So is our work completed once we deploy the application? No. We need to continuously operate and monitor. We need to verify if everything is working fine or not. Okay, it's not like once the application is deployed, our work is done. No, it's not like that. We need to continuously check everything is working fine or not. If something going wrong, we need to again fix it and we need to redeploy that application. Okay, and then again, once it is done, we need to again, if there are any new changes, let's say Pawan's team is providing some new changes every 2 weeks or every 1 month or every 3 months, they're providing some new changes. So again, we will start from here. Developers will plan the everything and then they will write the code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitor. It's a continuous process. That's the reason you are seeing this infinity symbol. Okay, it's a complete continuous process. Until the project is completed, it's a continuous process. Even after the project is completed, we still be deploying some changes. Okay, so they will hand over the project to the support team. Support team will take care of all these things. But in the actual development and the deployment of the application will follow all these steps. It's a continuous process. Okay, so if you see the definition here, you can see. Yeah, so you can see DevOps is a combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and tools that increases the organization ability to deliver the applications and services at high velocity. So basically, if you search for the DevOps definition in Google or YouTube or some other platforms, they will mention that it's a combination of development and operations team. That is true, but you should not answer this to other people. I mean, you should not answer this way in the interviews. Nobody will ask these basic questions, but if in case, if they're asking what is DevOps, you need to provide some proper definition. Don't just tell it's a combination of development or operations. No, it's not correct. Okay. So it's a combination of practices. What are the methodologies that we are following? Practices means philosophies as practices means what are the methodologies? What are the like basic practices that we are following? Okay. Steps that we are following. Okay. And tools that we are using. What are the different tools that we are using? Okay. So it's combination of the everything. It's a process actually. So in the process of biryani making, right? So what is the final product? The final product is a vegetable biryani. But what all steps that we are following to prepare that biryani? So that is a biryani making process. Here also in the application. So what we need, the final product is we need the application. But to complete that application, what are the things that we are following? What is testing team doing? What is development team doing? What is DevOps team doing? Database team doing? Business team? So all different teams will be involved in this application making process. Like in the biryani making, we are putting some oil. Okay, we are like adding some ingredients, right? We are adding some masala and all these things. Okay, we are cooking it on the stove, etc. So all these are steps involved in the biryani making process. So here also, testing the application, writing the code, discussing with the different teams, Okay, as Adil mentioned earlier, DevOps team will be interacting with many people. So here you don't have to worry about the communication. A simple English is enough. You don't have to be a pro in you don't need to worry about the vocabulary or grammar. Just a simple English. Whatever that you are speaking, the other person is able to understand, that is more than enough. Because I've seen many people who are like have pathetic English, right? But still they are managing to communicate with the client. So just a simple English is enough to communicate properly. Okay, because for the DevOps engineers, developers, or testing engineers in the software development field, their main skill set is that the software, particular software. It's not the English, right? We are not the English teachers, right? We are not English trainers, or we are not working in some Oxford or other universities. So simple English is good enough. Okay, don't worry. So this is the process. This is the actual definition of DevOps. It includes some tools, practices, and other methodologies to develop the application and deliver to the client. Okay, you can see here, organization ability to deliver the applications. To whom we are developing these applications? To the client at high velocity. So with the help of all these tools, AWS Cloud, Jenkins, Harness, Kubernetes, Docker. Okay, so with the help of all these tools, we are increasing the speed to deliver the application. Even earlier also we are using this process, but with lesser pace. Okay, maybe it was taking 6 months or 1 year for delivering an application. But nowadays we are releasing this changes every once in a week. Every 15 days we are releasing some new changes to the customer. Okay, we are providing some new changes to the website once in a week, or even sometimes like 3 days in a week also, with the help of these tools. So we can increase that process. We can speed up the delivery process with the help of DevOps tools. Okay, evolving and improving the products at a faster pace. You can see here at a faster pace than organizations using traditional software development and infrastructure management. Traditional means the older fashion. So this is the definition of DevOps. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is not a programming language. DevOps is not testing. It's not data science. It's a process. DevOps is process of making our application, building the application, the process of building the application. Okay, the application should be finally deployed on this server. So this is the process. What is the process that we are following? That process we are calling it as DevOps. So two teams will be involved. We also involved with the development team. So actually we ourselves call it as operations team, but we are calling it as DevOps because we are closely interacting with the development team. That's the reason we are calling it as DevOps. Okay, and there is one more word called DevSecOps. Right, it is also same as DevOps only. There is nothing major differences between the DevSecOps and DevOps. So I will explain. So in the DevSecOps, security will be added. Okay, at the end of the course, I will give some basic overview what is DevSecOps. You can also apply for the DevSecOps roles. Not only for the DevOps, you can also apply for the DevSecOps roles. As Adil mentioned, the main benefits of this course is you can apply for the cloud related roles, cloud engineer, cloud architect, solution architect, cloud administrator, okay, and cloud plus DevOps, AWS DevOps roles, okay. And I've seen people who learn AWS DevOps and they are managing to apply for the Azure DevOps and GCP DevOps, because if you learn AWS, everything is same with the other cloud providers. Just the terminology is different. In AWS, we are calling it as EC2 instances. In Azure, we call it as VMs. In AWS, we are calling it as like S3 buckets. In Azure, we call it as blob storage. So in AWS, we have EKS. Azure, we call it as AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. It's almost same. The process wise, everything is same. The concepts wise, everything is same. AWS, Azure, GCP, and other cloud providers. Just the terminology is different. That's it. So that's the main the main benefit of like learning this course. It includes everything. It includes like practical based learning in DevOps and also certification based in the first 1 month. So we are providing this course with a price of 22K. It's very less actually, because you can cross check outside. People are charging just for the certification course. They're charging like 10 to 15,000 just for the certification. And DevOps again, they're charging 15 to 20,000. Right, so together they are charging like more than 35K. But as we want to provide it for the less cost, we are giving it for the 22K. Okay, so I will stop it for today because it's already 8:09. So every day we'll be taking class till 8:15. 8 to 8:15. From 8:15 to 8:30, you can ask the questions. And sometimes we'll stop the class by 8 o'clock. So you can also use that time for the doubts clarification, right? So I'm stopping my screen share, or else let it be. So you can ask the questions. Okay, yeah. Let me unmute all. I'm not sure about the RevSecOps, Sunil. I've never heard about RevSecOps, but anyway, yeah, I will check it first. Let me note it down some questions. So if I know something, I will definitely answer. Okay, if I don't know something, I will take that particular topic and I will address this that particular question in the next class. Okay. Site reliability engineer, yes. RevSecOps, right? Site reliability engineer is almost similar to the DevOps role, Raghu. So whatever the responsibility that DevOps takes care of, even the site reliability engineer also do the same thing. But what is the main difference here is, so site reliability engineer mainly focuses on this, like monitoring the infrastructure and operating the infrastructure, the application. They should always make sure that application is running 24/7. DevOps will be involving many different roles, like creating the pipelines, creating the infrastructure, like managing the GitHub repositories and creating the Docker files, Docker images, deploying the applications on the Kubernetes cluster, container orchestration. Okay, DevOps will be involved in many things, but site reliability engineer mainly focuses on application monitoring and infrastructure monitoring. Okay, so they will make sure that production servers are up and running at any point of time. Okay, it's not like we will not take care of it. Yeah, we will also involved in that. But site reliability engineer is mainly they will mainly focuses on the maintenance of the application and the maintenance of the infrastructure. Okay. What else? Yeah, Sunil, DevSecOps means the combination of development, operations, and security. Yes, yes. We'll discuss about that in detail later. Don't worry. Yes, yes, Nagaraj, we also provide the Terraform. Terraform is also covered in this course. So yeah, sorry to let me share my screen. Let me explain what are the different tools that we are covering in this course, because I thought we already shared the curriculum with all of you. I hope all of you have the curriculum with you, so you can go through all the topics. But anyway, let me just mention all the tools that I'm going to cover. Is my screen visible, Adil?
Yes, Navin.
Okay. So for building the application, you know what is building, right? Like converting the code into the artifact. So for building the applications, we use Maven. Okay, because we are going to use this Java for the backend. Okay, and for the front-end framework, we are going to use React.js, which uses JavaScript programming language. Okay, and for the backend, it's Spring Boot framework, which uses Java programming language. And for the database, we are using MySQL. Okay, RDS MySQL, relational database system. Right. And you might get this doubt. Naveen, do we need to learn the programming here? No, don't worry. You don't have to learn the JavaScript. You don't have to learn the Java, or you don't need to learn the SQL language. SQL is the language, structured query language that we use. Okay. You don't need to learn all these languages, not required. We as a DevOps engineer, we will deploy these applications. We are not responsible for developing the applications. But however, if you have some basic understanding on Python, that will be helpful in the interviews. Basics. No need to learn the advanced concepts. The basics of Python will be helpful in the interview. Okay. As I mentioned, like out of 10 interviews, 7, they did not ask Python as a mandatory. Okay. Only like few companies that are asking the Python skills, right? So these are the frameworks that we are going to use in this course. Okay. Front-end, back-end, React.js, Spring Boot, MySQL. And for the build, we are going to use Maven. And for automation of the build process, we are going to use Jenkins and Harness. So this is one of the main benefit that you will get, because most of the courses, they will only cover one tool for the CI/CD. So here we are covering both Jenkins as well as Harness, two tools. And for the container orchestration, we are going to cover Kubernetes, Elastic Kubernetes service. Elastic means this is a AWS Kubernetes service. Okay, AWS form of Kubernetes, version of Kubernetes. Okay, and Elastic Container Service. So here also we are covering two container orchestration tools. You can also compare this curriculum with other course curriculums. Okay. And one more thing is, I've seen few people that are including so many tools, but when you like actually look into the content, they're covering very less. So here in this course, you will understand, by the end of the course, you will understand how to deploy this front-end, back-end database, and how to create the connection. Let's say this is one server, this is one server, and this is one server. Right. So you will understand, you will learn how to deploy the front-end application on this server, how to deploy the backend application, how to deploy the database application. Servers means not only the servers, you will do it on the container orchestration tool, on the Kubernetes, on the ECS service, Elastic Container Service. Okay. And then how to create a connection between these three, front-end to backend, backend to database. So finally, you can do a complete end-to-end full stack project. Okay, so you can able to deploy the complete full stack project. You will purchase a domain name also, like flipkart.com, amazon.com. We will purchase a domain from the GoDaddy. GoDaddy is a like DNS service where we can purchase the like domain names, like how we are purchasing the phone numbers from Airtel, Idea, Vodafone. Similarly, we can purchase a domain names from the GoDaddy, Route 53, Google services. There are many other domains, registered services. Okay, so we'll purchase a domain. You will attach the domain to the front-end application, and these three connections you will able to make the connection between these three applications. Okay, container orchestration, EKS and ECS, infrastructure provisioning. Infrastructure provisioning, it's Terraform. Okay, source code management, it's GitHub. Right, and containerization. Containerization, it's Docker. Okay, and yeah, I hope I covered everything. So build Maven for automating this build and deployment process. We use Jenkins and Harness, two tools. For container orchestrations, we are going to use two tools: Elastic Kubernetes Service, Elastic Container Service. For the infrastructure provisioning, we use Terraform. For managing the source code, we use GitHub. And for the containerization, we use Docker. And for the AWS services,
Jenkins. Okay, fine.
and for the AWS services, you can like check with Adil. So all the topics which are important for the certification, everything will be covered in AWS. You don't have to learn any additional AWS services after the course. So whatever that you learn in this course for the AWS, it's more than enough. Okay, and for the DevOps, I will give you some more topics just for the interview purpose. No need to practice. Just for the interview purpose, I will give you some more topics you can prepare and you can start applying for the interviews. Okay, and as Adil mentioned, we are actually taking the interviews, not only L1 level, I also basically take like L2, L3 level also. So you don't have to worry. So once you are good at performing the mock interviews, you can actually clear the actual interviews. You can crack the actual interviews. Okay, right? So that's all from
They
my
have
side.
questions on the chat. Akshay is asking which is mostly used, Harness or Jenkins?
So frankly speaking, Jenkins is getting outdated day by day. Okay, but why we are still including Jenkins is, in the interview, still people are asking questions on the Jenkins. Even though they are not using Jenkins in the real time, but still they are asking questions on the Jenkins because it's old tool. I think it started in the year 2012 or 2014, 2012, I guess. Okay, so old tool in the CI/CD. So that's the reason there are still some companies are using Jenkins. It's an open source tool. We don't have to pay the money for the Jenkins. So some startup companies or like some small scale companies, they're still using Jenkins. So that's the reason we are included Jenkins. And also Harness is a new tool. Like it has so many benefits when compared to the Jenkins. So that's the reason I included Harness. So okay, Yeah, to answer your question, there are multiple tools actually. Jenkins, Harness, TeamCities, Bamboo, and so and so. But you don't have to learn each and every tool, not required. If you learn 1 or 2 tools, that's enough. Once you enter into the job, then you can easily understand the process, because you need to understand the process, not the terminology. If you understand the process, even though if they ask you to work on some different CI/CD tools, you can able to do that. You can easily able to like work on that particular task. Okay.
Navin, can you also give them the salary package, which the starting package for the DevOps or cloud engineer?
Yeah, so actually, not just for DevOps or like cloud or any domain, right? So the salary component is purely depend on our experience and your skill set. So because even if you search any websites, different website will be defining different types of salaries. Okay, so there is no like a specific answer for that. But however, if you ask me the average salary, you can like multiply 3 into your experience. Let's say you have 1 year experience. Let's say Praveen has 1 year experience, 1 into 3. Now Naveen has like 5 year experience, 5 into 3, 15. That is the average salary. I'm not telling you will only get 15 lakhs for 5 years. So you will get more than that also. Okay, because recently I switched the company. Right, I've given few interviews. Now my total experience is 7 years. So if you use this formula, 7 into 3, what is the value? 21. But I got up to 31 lakhs. So it's like more than 140% hike, more than 150% hike. Okay, so first you need to get one offer. So by keeping that offer, you can apply for the counter offers. First, you need to get a job in one company, and then you can drop the papers, and then you can start applying for the other jobs. Then you can demand the salary. So regarding the job applications, resume preparation, mock interviews, and all these things, if you want to discuss, you can call me on my number. I will explain to you in detail. So you can take my number from Adil or Shazia. They will provide my number. We can have the discussion on this part. Okay. So yeah, Adil has already mentioned all the tools here: EKS, ECS, Jenkins database, and this is fine. And what is Teja? May I know what was the difference between the container orchestration?
That
Yeah,
we can discuss in technical.
technical. Yeah. So
Don't
Teja,
need to go
it's
now.
not something I can just explain in 1-2 minutes, Teja. Okay, because it's a big topic actually. But however, if you are excited to know before joining the course, I can explain to you on the call. Okay, so it's like packaging the application. It's like packaging the application. Let me just take 2 minutes time and explain this. Let's say Teja, you're working on some PUBG application. Okay, you're developing a PUBG application. You develop that PUBG application on your laptop. Now, so that application is running on your laptop. Okay, when you're trying to play the game on your laptop, it's working fine. But now the same application we gave it to Akhilesh. Akhilesh is trying to run that PUBG application on his system. It's not working. Why? Because of the dependency issue. So something is working on your system, the same thing, it's not working on the other systems. It's because of the dependency. To resolve this problem, maybe Akhilesh is using different operating system. Maybe Akhilesh is using different programming, the software which is installed on his system. Maybe dependencies are not matching. Okay, it can be different reasons. Now what you will do, you will package into the Docker images and you will send the Docker image to Akhilesh. Now Akhilesh will run that image on the system, then he can able to run the PUBG application. So I just explain in simple words. Even if you do not understand, we'll discuss in detail. So you can call me on my number. I will explain to you in detail. Teja. Okay. Raghunath, for monitoring, which one is the, so there is no such like best tool for the monitoring. So in this course, we are covering some CloudWatch concepts. Okay, Adil will be covering some CloudWatch related concepts. Even I will explain like how to monitor the logs for the ECS in CloudWatch. But there are many other tools available in the market like Datadog, Splunk, Grafana, and etc. Okay, so you can just learn one monitoring, that should be enough actually. Any other questions? Sujeev, Gauss, Akshay.
Guys, anyone, if you have any basic question, also please ask.
And that's
Apart
totally
from
fine, because
apart from technical.
you are here to learn something new which you don't know, right? So don't think that if I ask these basic questions, like trainer might feel bad. There is no such thing. Okay, so don't feel awkward. So please feel free to ask any questions. Okay, so we will tell you. So let's say If that question is not related to the topic, we'll tell that. So Akhilesh, let's say Akhilesh is asking some basic questions, okay, which is not related to the topic or which is not important. So I will tell Akhilesh, so Akhilesh, you don't have to worry about that. You can just ignore that. Okay, or else if it is something important, I will explain. Or else if that I don't know about the topic, I will prepare and will explain in the next day. Okay. And as of now, I don't have any doubts. Thanks. Okay. Shravani, you said you have some questions, right?
I do. I think I have a question regarding the experience itself and how is it not going to affect the resume or the interview is what my exact question is. So I'm basically I have experience in Google Ads since 5.8, close to 6 years right now.
Okay.
So I'm a team lead here. For the past 2 years, I'm a team lead in Google Ads. So I started as an agent and now I'm a team lead. So I just want to understand how will this course help me and so basically I want to change my domain completely. So that's the entire point of me getting in connect with this particular course. So I just didn't understand the concept of how the experience is going to be added into my resume with this course particularly.
Understood, Shravani. Let me answer to this question. Okay. So this is not only to Shravani, each and every person who joined this class, right? So most of the people will be having the same question who are from non-technical background, from the technical background. So they will be having these queries. Even I used to have the same question like 6 years back because Shravani, I joined as a like non-technical professional. Okay. I mean, non-technical associate. My designation was transaction processing associate as a fresher. So my role was like I need to review the Google Ads. Okay, the client is Google. So I'm working through Accenture as a vendor, right? So my location is like near high tech city, Mindspace, right? So what I used to do is I need to review the Google Ads, like is it political or non-political? It's a complete basic. It's not at all related to the technical. Okay, it's a basic thing. Who even a 10th class graduate can able to do that task. Okay, now what I did, but that experience actually helped me because I have the genuine experience from Accenture. Okay, so in this background verification process, so they do not verify what is the work that you have done. Is it reviewing the Google Ads or is it Google Maps or is it customer support? Is it call center? Right? Is it like Java developer, data science? It doesn't matter for them. What they only see is whether you actually work in that company or not. Yes or no, that's it. So is your company a genuine company? Is it India government registered or not? Okay, so they will verify your pay slips. They will check your pay slips, your bank statement, right, and your experience letters. Okay, if everything looks good, that's enough for them. They don't check, okay, what is your designation? Okay, it looks like transaction processing associate, but you in your resume you mentioned as DevOps engineer. It's not matching. How it is? They won't ask these kind of questions, Ravani. Okay, but
So
in
process to process based questions won't be asked, is what you're saying?
no. So in your resume you will mention it as DevOps engineer. The 5 years what is your total experience?
6 years right now.
6 years. So what I would suggest is the first 2 years we can keep it as a Linux administrator. Okay. And the next 4 years we can keep it as AWS DevOps. Okay. Is it the same company or you change the other company? Is it Accenture since the beginning?
Sorry, I missed that. Can you repeat?
No, I'm asking, are you still working in Accenture or you recently switched the company?
No, I recently joined. I mean, I joined Accenture 1 year back. So I was working in Regelix before. The client is Google itself. So the client was same in both the companies, and it'll be 2 years in some time in Accenture.
Fine. So, okay. So what we can do, the first 2 years in Regex, we can keep it as a Linux administrator. And then the remaining 2 or 3 years in Regex and this 2 years in Accenture, we can keep it as a AWS DevOps engineer. Okay, on the resume. Right. See, whatever you put on the resume, so based on that, they will ask the questions. Once you clear the interview, it doesn't matter for them, like what is the previous domain, which domain you worked and all these things. Okay. Because you can take me as a real-time example, because even I switched from Accenture from non-technical to the technical role. I changed into Deloitte. After Accenture, I joined Deloitte as a Power BI developer, data science. And then I joined CAM Systems as a DevOps engineer and TCS as a DevSecOps engineer. Okay. So if there is a strict rule that if the person is working on some domain, if he or she needs to continue on the same domain throughout the lifetime, so they cannot get candidates to work on that so and so.
Exactly.
Okay, because you know, right? AI ML, it's a new technology. Data science is a new technology. How can they find people with, how can they find people like 10 plus, 15 plus experience? 15 years back, there is no concept of AI itself, right? So this is how it works in the real time. Don't worry about that, Shravani.
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you so much.
No problem. Others, Praveen, Kalyan.
Navin, 1 second, give me a minute. Okay, guys, everyone will have a lot of questions. Okay, so please take your time. Okay, please join that WhatsApp group link. So there, we will share you the recorded session and further questions Q&A, right? You will be routed to Navin or me. Okay, so if you have any further questions, please join through that WhatsApp group. All right, so we can clear that. Okay, Navin, thank you. Navin, I'll give you the list later.
Yeah, sure. Guys, don't drop off. I need a small help from you. So I need like few details from all of you, just your name, email ID, and phone number. So just to like get back to you regarding this course. Okay. So let me ping this link. Can all of you just open this link? I pinged you in the chat. Please open this link and fill the details on the same call. Everyone. It just takes 1 minute, guys. Just open the link, mention your name, email ID, phone number. That's it.
The form might asking the permission.
Yeah, it's saying this form can only be viewed by users in the owner's organization.
Can you open this again? Let me just change the permissions. Just give me a minute. And people who have more questions, they can stay back. So after filling the form, you can just stay back. So you can ask the questions. That's totally fine.
Again, I'm getting same issue.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes. Yeah. So now can you refresh the page and try it? Can you please confirm if you are able to access this now?
Yes, Navin, we're able to.
You are able to, right? Yeah. So everyone, Shravani, SP, Sunil, Akshay, Gauss, Sujiv, everyone, please fill the form. And what all questions you have?
It's done, Navin.
Right. So Praveen, regarding the recordings, so we will provide the recordings once you make the payment. Okay. So first 3 to 4 days, we will not provide the recordings, but if you have decided to join, you can make the payment. We'll provide the recording access. Okay. So recording access will be provided to the people who make the payment, right? And the first 3 to 4 sessions you can consider as a demo. You don't have to like confirm till the 4th date, right? 4th day, and after the 4th day you can make the payment and you can join the course. But if you want the recording access from day 1, you need to make the payment and you can take the access. Okay. Yes, every day we'll upload the recordings by 11 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. because for the processing it will take time to process the recording, so you need to wait till 10:30 or 11 a.m. And thanks for the update. Gauss, you asked this question, can we handle that much experience? Yes. So after learning this course, so you can manage 5 years of experience in the real time. So this assurance I can definitely give you, Gauss. Okay. So you can easily manage 0 to 5 years of experience. Freshers, mid-level experience, okay, and the seniors also they can manage, because I've seen people, right, even with 10 years experience, 15 years experience, they're also doing the same thing, but there will be some more expectations from the like 10 plus 15 plus experience candidates. Okay. Yeah. Assignments given at the end of the each class. So Adil can answer to this. Okay. So when it comes to the DevOps, I will explain regarding the assignments. Okay. So in my case, I will give the assignments like once in a week or twice in a week regarding the assignments, right? Regarding the AWS, you can check with Adil Navi. Yeah. And what else?
Navin, can you also give them what will be the tomorrow session?
Tomorrow we'll be discussing about the monolithic and microservice architecture, right? And I will show you the how this application communication happen on the local system. Okay, so I will be showing you how the front-end code looks, how the back-end code looks, okay, and where we are creating the database, all these things. But it's little technical. So even if you are not able to catch the topics, that's completely fine. Okay, end of the course, you can able to do all these things on the cloud platform, deploying front-end, back-end database applications on the cloud platform. Okay.
Yes. From third day onwards, we'll start from the basics. Okay, that is from Wednesday. We're gonna start everything from scratch. So today, tomorrow, Naveen has showed you the overview, just an overview what and all you guys will be learning, right? So he has given you complete overview. So from third day, we will start everything from scratch. You guys don't have to worry.
And I just want to add one point here. So Adil mentioned some prerequisites, right? The networking, some soft communication skills. Okay. Say English, obviously we all can speak some basic English, right? So that's enough. And when it comes to this technical networking, if you know, that's fine. If you don't know, that's totally fine. So we are going to cover anything,
Yes.
everything. Okay. The VPC networking, right? Subnets, right? How to create the
All
architecture.
we will definitely
We'll
cover,
take care of
right?
it.
But
Okay.
for your good in the coming future, right? If you have a good networking knowledge, right, it will be easier for you guys to get to do any kind of job. That's it.
Yeah, but don't think that okay, if I don't know the
Ah,
networking, this course might not be like suitable for me.
yes.
No. Okay.
It's
There
not
is
a
no
mandatory.
there is see the only expectations what we have is you need to be passionate about learning the things. Okay. Because it's for you, right? You will be like getting benefit if you complete the course properly, you will be getting the job, right? Okay, so the only thing is you should be serious, practice at least 4 to 5 hours per week. 4 to 5 hours per week. So if you cannot spend that 4 to 5 hours, please don't join this course. Okay, so we are not the commercial. We don't want to like give any false expectations for you to just do like, okay, please join this course, you will get a job immediately, we will provide the placements. Okay, so we are covering so and so things and all. No, it's for your good. So if you're really passionate about like career change, then practice regularly, or else don't join. Right?
Navin, Akhilesh has doubt. Yeah, Akhilesh.
Akhilesh, please go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning, Akhilesh.
As Adil mentioned that package and salary, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you have told that after experience you will get a multiplied salary.
Mm-hmm.
As we are freshers, and after doing this course, and what we get the challenges on interview.
So for the freshers, uh, when it comes to the expectations, Akhilesh, it will be less compared to the experienced people. Okay, they will not be expecting. So whatever the technical knowledge that you gain from this course, that's more than enough actually for the freshers. Okay, so what in the interview you should be able to easily like answer all the questions, the technical questions. When it comes to the jobs, right? Not only AWS DevOps domain, be it any domain. For the freshers, it's little difficult. I mean, for the applying jobs, you take it non-technical, technical, or Java developer, Python developer, DevOps, any domain. For the freshers, we need to have some patience. We need to keep applying for the jobs. Okay. But anyway, we will guide you like how to apply, what portals we need to use. We will guide you. Salary part. So you can, on the AWS DevOps, you can expect an average salary of like 4 lakhs for the freshers. Okay, that's again an average salary. You might get little less if you are applying for the startups based on the budget, their budget. Okay, and you also might get more than 5-6 lakhs also for the freshers. But I cannot guarantee on that part. So salary part is completely like it's like abstract, right? We cannot I cannot say some fixed number here. Okay, but average you can expect 4 lakhs, Akhilesh.
Okay, thank you.
And when it comes to the challenges for applying while applying the jobs, so we will help you like how to answer, how to explain as a fresher, right? So this project you need to mention as your major project. If you have done BTech or BSc, so you can explain that this is the project I have done in my academics. So you can explain the same project. And you can also show the GitHub repositories. I will also help you in like how to build your GitHub, how to build the LinkedIn profile. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Vishwajit, Nagendra, King, Kunal. All good? Okay then. So if you do not have any other questions, we can wind it up for today. Any particular role? 1 minute. I have a question. Nagendra, I didn't understand your question. TRS. So Akshay, Docker and Kubernetes, as I mentioned, you can able to manage the experience range of 5 years, Akshay. Okay, because Kubernetes is again itself is a different subject. It's an ocean, right? You take it any topic in AWS or DevOps, every topic has like a number of concepts in each and every topic, harness, Jenkins, and so on. So okay,
Yes.
so we will be covering to the extent where you can able to clear the interviews for the experience range of 5 years on AWS DevOps. Again, let's say now Shravani has total 7 years or 6 years experience. Okay, now.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is she can put 5 years experience on AWS DevOps. Okay, so they can also, you people can also manage more than 5 years, but I just want to mention that threshold, right?
Okay. Actually, I need to ask one thing.
Mhm.
Current market scenario, what's going on right now? Means for the switching.
See, 4 months back, even I thought that there is no good market in India because people were saying there is like layoffs happening, right? In US also we have this thing, right? Okay. So, but previously when I applied for the interviews, I got so many calls. Okay, so don't believe any such rumors. If people are saying there are no jobs on DevOps or no jobs on AWS, please don't believe that. So if you are really good at technical skills, you will definitely get a job. That assurance I can give.
Okay.
Okay, so if you just do whatever I'm saying. Okay,
Right.
so right, you can read us as friends, me, Adil, Shazia. Whatever the questions that you have, you can ask us over the phone related to the course or related to the topics what we are discussing. Get everything clear. Whatever the questions that you have, you please ask. Okay, and please complete the assignments on timely basis. And whatever the task that we are providing to you, so please do that on timely basis. Okay, so definitely you will get a job, Akshay. Okay,
Yes,
regarding the market, yes, we have very good market in India. I'm not talking about other countries. In India, we have very good market. So I'm hearing that in the US there is no proper job market as of now. Not sure. Recently, government has changed, so we don't know like how the things will be in future. But yes, in India we have very good market. So now in future, let's say if US market is getting better, for us, we will get more number of projects. You know, right? Most of the projects that we are working on, working in India is US-based projects, and then followed by
currently
UK.
working on UK based.
Yes, and then followed by Europe-based. Europe means like UK and then Germany and other countries, and then followed by Australia, New Zealand. Okay, so the main market is US, right? So now we don't have that much good market in US, but still we are having good number of jobs in India. Just imagine if the market gets better, future definitely will get more number of openings. I don't have to say anything. You can just open the LinkedIn and Naukri. You can search for the jobs, Akshay. And there are so many jobs which are not advertised on the LinkedIn and Naukri. So HRs will basically check for the candidates' profiles and then they will directly call you. Not every jobs will be posted on LinkedIn and Naukri in these portals. Not every job will be posted on their company website. We never know. Okay, the internal jobs, they will directly call us when you upload the profile. Okay, and resume preparation is also very, very important. So if you do not prepare your resume properly, there is no point even if you are very good at technical skills. Let's say you are very good at it, you have 100% knowledge on all the topics, but if you're not getting called, how you will prove that you are like the correct candidate for that particular job, right? So resume preparation is very, very important. Okay, I will also help you in the resume preparation. So I basically take the paid services from the Naukri. I pay like 7,000 rupees for this resume and other services. So I will provide the same template for you as well. The same template which worked for me, I will also provide the same template for you. After applying for the 3 months, if you are still not getting good number of calls, you can pay some 3,000 to 4,000 rupees on the Naukri for displaying your resume. But I would say that is not required. But if you are seriously trying for the job, still not getting the calls, we can do that. Okay.
Yes.
And I also have like up to 20 to 25 HR contacts. So if I feel that you are a good candidate or like correct fit for that particular job, I will refer.
Okay.
How much experience you have actually?
Actually, currently I'm working in Fujitsu from 2022. Right now I have 2.6 plus.
2 points. So yeah, so it will be little challenging because I'm being open to everyone. Okay, so I'm not saying that the freshers will not get a job or like people with less than 2-3 years experience will not get a job. I recently in the current batch, one person is a fresher, he got a job. Okay, so there are people who are getting jobs with the less than 2-3 years also. Okay, but you need to be a little patient. Compared to the experienced candidates, we will be getting less number of calls. Okay, you need to continuously apply. You need to continuously apply for the job section.
Yes.
You should not give any gap while during the preparation. You should not give any gap.
Yes, definitely.
Compared to the overseas India market is doing well. Yes, that's true. Actually,
Anyone else? Sai, Vishwajit, Sai Teja,
Sujiv,
and yes, you guys didn't ask anything.
Gagana, Sujiv. So you have any questions? You can have the friendly discussion. That's totally fine. Shravani, yeah, please go ahead.
No, I just want to drop off because I have to attend another meeting
Sure.
here, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, after 8:15, the class will be completed. So after 8:15, it's up to you. If you want to stay, you can stay and you can just listen to the discussion what we are doing, or else you can, if you have any other questions, you can drop off and continue with your work.
All
Naveen, can
right,
you
sure.
stop
Thank you
the
so
recording?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll
Naveen,
see you guys tomorrow. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. Adil, you are saying something?
please stop the recording. It's
Sure.
taking.
Fine.